Om Shanti, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the Monday workshop series. So every Monday, we have special guest speaker, yogi who has been practicing this path of Raj Yoga for a long period of time. And especially when somebody is going through the practice, some of the ancient memories starts coming alive. And especially when most of us understand and recognize and resonate with the journey of a lot of other Brahmins, other BKs who have gone through this journey for a long period of time. And especially when we talk about even before coming to Gyan, so one of the main things that everyone in the world is looking for is that genuine love, the genuine happiness, that fulfillment in the life. But as we go through, some of the sanskaras comes alive and then blocks us from experiencing the true love from the God. And God's love not being a materialistic thing, and we being so absorbed in materialistic world, it is hard to recognize or hard to comprehend from materialistic mindset. So what options are we left with to recognize God, to recognize true love, to access that true power is the power of experience. And especially when we listen to somebody who has gone through the journey, what resonated with them, something within us starts moving, and that helps us to move together. So one of the main focus of this series is to listen to with full intent. And as you listen to others' journey, when you put yourself in their shoes, something within you start resonating. And you yourself, that pure spark within us starts coming alive. So that is one of the main focus for today's sharing. And today's sharing is more focused around the personal experience of Brother Mathias, who has been in this journey for a long period of time. Brother takes care of a lot of service, coordinate service in Zurich Center in Switzerland. And I always understand, I always have this uh, perspective that especially Brahmins from different parts of the world comes and then starts their personal experience. They come from their personal cultural perspective too. So one of the things that I find unique about Switzerland is they have this sanskara or the quality of Bharat, which has this dealing with things with less violence, right? So Switzerland has never involved in any wars like India. Switzerland always learned to how to negotiate things, diplomatic way of dealing with things. And then I see that there is something to do with the culture. And at the same time, it is more like India, like there are 7, 8 different provinces. Each one has different language, different culture, different lifestyle, and each one have their own individuality fully blossoming. And at the same time, they're collectively living together. And there is something unique about that culture. I always enjoy when we relate to Brahmins coming from different cultural background. And of course, we know they're all coming from the Brahmin background and they're all ancient deities. But as they go through this journey of 5,000 years, their sanskaras draw them towards that cultural settings, or their presence enriches the culture of that part. So I always get a little tickled by this cultural background. So without any further ado, I invite Brother Mathias to share his personal journey. And so mainly the topic for today is one step of courage and multi-million steps of help from Baba. And this will be a little interactive session. I strongly recommend everyone, if possible, to turn on your cameras and feel free to unmute yourself whenever you have questions or comments. And let's keep it more interactive. And Brother Mathias is a life coach also. So he has been helping lot of the community around with his special unique retreats, where it helps to learn how to deal with the stress and then build the resilience within. And by profession, he was a headmaster, and he comes from a lot of experience of coaching people. Without any further ado, I invite brother Mathias.
Thank you, Harsha. Thanks so much for the introduction and also the opportunity to share with all of you. Good evening. Nice to see you. For me, actually, it's good morning. It's almost time for Amrit Vela. So it's great to spend my Amrit Vela not only with Baba, but today with all of you. So before I start sharing, just ask yourself, have you made the choice to become a Brahmin, or was it destined? Just think about it. Have you taken the decision, okay, I will become a Brahmin now? Or how did this happen? Who has taken this decision? It seems to be a personal decision, right? So everybody has a choice to become a Brahmin or not. No, actually, I was talking to the grandson of Brahma Baba. I met him at the airport in Ahmedabad. I came back from Madhuban, and then there he was sitting, and we both had to wait for a plane. And so he's the son of, I just forgot the name.
Narayan Dada.
Exactly, the son of Narayan Dada, Manoj Bhai.
Manoj Bhai, yeah.
Exactly. So he was asking me this, and then he said, and I really liked the answer, he said, you have not decided to become a Brahmin. It's Baba who has chosen you. Nobody can decide, you know. It's not that someone can come along and say, okay, now I will become a Brahmin. It's actually Baba who selects you and tells you, okay, you child, you belong to me. And then it's only up to us to say, yes, Baba, I belong to you. And when you think, it's quite a powerful awareness that Baba himself actually has selected you. And so each and every one could tell a story how he found to Baba, how she found to Baba, or actually how Baba found us. And so I'm going to share a bit my story, how Baba found me. And I think it's also important that when you listen to other stories, not to be impressed, because, you know, when we come online and share with you, we don't talk about our weaknesses. No, we talk about our strengths and what worked for us. And then you could get like an image of, okay, this is a perfect Brahmin. But there's nothing like that. There's nothing like a perfect Brahmin. It just doesn't exist. No, everybody has his strong points and his weaknesses. But if I would connect with you and talk about my weaknesses, it would not be very inspiring for you. So I better share what works for me. So before I share how Baba has found me, just ask yourself, how has Baba found you? Because he needs a method for each and everyone. Because we were completely caught up in our old lives, right? We were busy in our lives. But then somehow Baba managed to find you. Do you see in front of your eye how Baba has found you? He would also have made someone instrument to bring you closer, to find you, to bring you closer. Can you see for yourself who that was and how Baba found you? As you would imagine a life in Switzerland to be like a little bit spoiled. A very easy life. I had a good job, good relationships, many friends. I found suddenly that my happiness would more and more decrease. And I had no answer why that would happen. And so I was a bit lost, as everything is going well. So my friends are there, job is there, and so on. So why would my happiness going more and more down? And I had no answer to that. And then there was one special day in my life. And that is, I was going to move in another flat. And 1 week before I was moving in the flat, the owner of the flat told me that has given it to someone else. So I had no place to live in 1 week. And then same day, I went to my work and my boss told me that the company I was working for is going to be bankrupt. So same day, no flat, no job. And I felt so free. I felt completely free. And I knew, okay, this is a sign. Something has to happen now. I want to leave. And so I wanted to leave for Australia just to improve my English. And I thought, okay, let me improve my English. That might be good for my professional career. But in my mind, in the back of my mind, I thought there could be something else happening. So first I went to Burma with a friend of mine. We were traveling one month, and then she went back, and I noticed, being away from everything, how something is opening inside. And so I kept traveling a bit, and I kept meeting people from India who have been to India, and they told me so incredible stories that I eventually thought, I have to see this country. And I kept meeting people who would tell me about meditation. And I then went to India, and in India, I found it so liberating that spirituality is lived in such an open way. Because in Switzerland, it's a little bit not, you don't talk too much about spirituality, especially not among young people. It's not very fashionable. So, and there, spirituality everywhere. Like puja here, puja there, arti with smoke and fires and statues and temples, and I kept meeting people, and from the West also travelers, and immediately we would start talking about God. So I really liked that. But then I had another problem. I thought, now everything is here, but how can I ever find out about truth? How can I know what is for me actually? Because before I was trying out mental training, I was doing vipassana meditation. I was doing autogenes training. So different things I was practicing, and always after a short time I felt, no, I can't continue. I don't have the strength to continue. And so now I'm in India in a spiritual supermarket. How do I find what is for myself? So I was traveling, and then I read in the guidebook about Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual University. And I thought, a spiritual university? That sounds fantastic. It sounds like objective information. That's what I thought, because in university, I thought that's not something, something that only someone believes or. So I went there to this university, and I was arriving 6 o'clock in the morning by bus after 20 hours ride. And I went to the spiritual museum when it opened at 9 o'clock. I saw the exhibition and I found this is something different here. This is like, I don't know, something completely different. And I saw the exhibition and I wanted to know more. And the sister, she said, okay, now you go up there, Pandav Bhavan, you start the course. And I said, yes, of course, I will do the course. And the sister who gave me the course, she said, look, we all have done one mistake. We thought I am a body and I have a soul, but it's actually different. I am a soul and I have a body. And when I heard that, I knew this is what I'm going to do. It's not something I had to decide for myself. It was so clear that this is going to be for me for the rest of my life. Even though I had the experience that normally after very few weeks, I would give up with things. And so she gave me the whole course and I wanted to know more. And I then saw a brother. I don't know who of you have been to Madhuban, but Peace Park is also a part of the campus that's completely in the outside. It's in a remote area, Baba's garden, Baba's Peace Park. So in the middle of nowhere. And there was a brother living there, not living, but he was standing at the gate and he welcomed me with such a smile. And he thought, what is there to smile? You know, you are in the countryside, nothing around here, nothing is happening. But yet he had a smile I have never seen before, radiating such a kind of happiness. And then I thought, this is exactly what I want. I want to be happy as this guy is. And the next experience I had, I was sitting in Om Shanti Bhavan and I sat there and I felt a peace inside. I thought, what is that? I have never felt that. Well, what does this come from? I just want to sit here. And I didn't know that I hadn't have the language like spiritual love or vibrations. I didn't have this language. But then I knew that's something special. So I took the whole course, and before I left, the brother gave me as a gift, gave me one book, a Murli book. And while I was traveling, I noticed whenever I would read in the morning in this book, my experience of the whole day was completely different. And then some days I did not read. And then some days I read. And I noticed again, oh, today I read and my whole day was different, was much easier. Everything was better. Even though I was traveling, everything could be easy. But inside there was a different world created by the Murli, even though I couldn't understand everything. And so I then went to Australia. I kept traveling, and I noticed, now how long do you want to travel? I want to travel inside, an inward journey now, not outside. And so I was knocking at the retreat center in Australia, Melbourne. By then I had a beard like this and long hairs like this because I was already traveling for 1 year, and I wanted to stay there. And the sister said, "No, you can't stay here. You can't stay here. This is only a retreat center where you can come and do a retreat, and then you have to leave." And okay, so I thought, well, at least let me stay for a retreat. So they would let me come for a weekend retreat. And I really liked it. I would give a hand in this and that and cleaning. So, and after they saw that I am willing to give a hand to help, she said, "Okay, you can stay 3 more days." After 3 more days, she said, "You can stay a week." After a week, she said, "I was talking to Charlie and Didi Nirvana, who are responsible for Australia, and she said, they said you can stay as long as you want." And so I stayed half a year. But after 2 weeks, I said to a sister, "Okay, it was nice. I had a good time here. Now I want to continue to travel." And then the sister, she said, "Oh, you want to travel again? Okay. You can, no problem, but you have to be aware that all the power you gained in 2 weeks, you will lose it very quickly. And just understand why you are traveling." She said, "Probably you had different lives in this and that countries, and all what you're doing here, you're just running behind your old lives. You're running after the experiences of past lives. And we have all done this. We have been living as sannyasis in caves. We have been living in monastery as Buddhist monks and all this. We have done all this search. We have had all these experiences. We don't need to run after it anymore. But if you wish, you can leave, no problem." So she really left it up to me. And that I think that was a very smart from her. And so as I was doing my karma yoga, I was brooming around the center, around the retreat center. I was really thinking, is this what I want? Is this what to continue traveling now that I have actually found? And then I had to say, no, it really doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. And then I think inside I closed this door to continue to search. And then actually it was like, okay, now I arrived. I stopped searching. And I think that's, for me, a kind of key that once you have found, there is no point to continue and search. Search in form of also, going into different books and listen to different things. And I don't say that we can take inspiration from other sources, but I found it can be quite distracting. Now, for example, let's say you study in a university and you study, let's say, economics or whatever, and there is 10 professors in economics, and 9 are mediocre or little low-level professors, and 1 professor is completely outstanding in all subjects. And so why would you go to the other professors if you can cover everything by the one who is outstanding with everything? And so that's why I think it's good to to stop searching when you have the feeling I have found, because of course we have created the sanskar of searching, and this over centuries and centuries, and searching can be quite attractive. No, it has been a part of us to search, to search, to search. It's a form of entertainment also. But then we come to a point where I feel it doesn't make sense anymore. And then you become quite calm inside, quite settled. And you then open up to find new undiscovered fields inside, which are really very interesting. And even the Brahmin world, there's so much to discover. There's so much to discover. So I would like to pause here for a moment and just guide you into a short meditation where we appreciate having been found by Baba, and where we just allow ourselves to fall into the reality that we actually have found everything that is to be discovered in this universe. There's nothing else to be discovered. So let's try that. So even as Brahmins, it's always good to start the meditation with relaxation. Just relax your body. Relax all the muscles. You can even move the shoulders a bit and the neck. And check if there's any tension somewhere in the body. And feel how, just by paying attention, how everything slows down. And I become very soft outside. And also I become soft inside. Become very peaceful inside. Very peaceful. This is not a meditation commentary. This is real life. We are peaceful inside. That's our true nature. Feel how your breath becomes very relaxed. The rhythm of your breathing is slow and steady. And then bring your attention to the middle of the forehead. And the whole area between the eyebrows becomes wide and open. And the sparkling eternal soul is sitting there silently. Just look into this light. So bright and powerful. And very silent. The soul is very silent, but full of life force, full of strength. Full of capacities. Some capacities I'm aware of, and some still lay dormant, waiting to be awakened. Just continue to see this sparkling soul. And this very soul is completely unique. Absolutely unique. And Baba sees this uniqueness. Baba sees the capacity. He sees what I myself cannot see. He sees all the qualities of the soul. He sees the beautiful story of the soul. And he loves this soul so much. I, the soul, I have been chosen by God directly. Humanity has built millions of churches, millions of temples, millions of mosques, gurudwaras. For this one soul who is called God. And this very God has now selected me. So I let go of any other search. I stop wondering, and I completely enjoy having been found and selected by the one I was looking for centuries. Let me stop wondering. Let me stop searching. Now I just have to be Baba's child. I just have to be myself. My unique self, without comparison. And now look into Baba's light. Baba, I look at you like a sunflower faces the sun. I see your smile. It's like your light is embracing me. So, and as you come back to the place where you sit, just hold on to the feeling that Baba is looking at you. His attention is on you. Om Shanti. How much do all of you use Baba in your daily life? How much do you use Baba? And how do we use Baba? What is necessary that we really can use Baba? Baba says, use me. You don't use me enough. I feel this is something that we can really explore and share among among us, and take inspiration from us when we hear from each other how we are, each of us, able to use Baba in our daily lives. I think that's very, very inspiring. And I think courage actually is a very important ingredient to that. courage. And I would like to understand courage a little bit different to what we would normally understand what courage is. So I always thought courage is very much linked with fear, like overcoming fear. But I think any kind of overcoming is actually courage. Someone shared like how Daddy Chunky would say they were in a group of PKs. They were in Daddy's room in London. And Daddy often has had a ill health. And she said to the group, "You have no idea how much courage I need only to get up from my chair and walk to the bed." And so this gives us the understanding what courage is. So to do something that you really don't feel like doing, or that you have to overcome a kind of inner blockage, or you have to bring up a huge willpower to do it. And I feel that this is often the key that Baba can come in. And in a very practical way. I remember I was in Madhuban, was quite young in Gyan, and I was so enthusiastic for Amrit Vela. And so I wanted to get up at 2 o'clock for Amrit Vela. And I was in a room with 9 other brothers. And so I would set my alarm clock for 2 o'clock. And then the second evening, someone said, "Are you crazy? You can't do that. We want to sleep." And then he was a bit upset. Then he said, "Just tell Baba to wake you up. And then you don't have to set alarm clock." I said, "Oh, okay. Tell Baba to wake me up. Why not? Let's try that." So I told Baba, I can't set alarm clock here. You have to wake me up. And the whole next days, believe it or not, at 2 o'clock, as power of silence would wake me up from inside. Sometimes we have to experience when we fix our mind that we do wake up because we program our mind. But that was a completely different experience. It was like at 2 o'clock, my mind inside would be filled with silence. And then I would wake up. But that was only possible because I surrendered to Baba. I give another example. Once I had to bring many things from Madhuban back to the center. And so it wasn't my choice, but I had then so many kilos overweight. And I thought, how am I going to do it? Because normally when you have to pay overweight at the airport, it's ridiculously expensive. And so I knew I had at least 10 kilos overweight. And I was sitting in the bus thinking, how am I going to do it? But then I had the thought, hold on, this is not my problem. All this stuff in the suitcase, it's not for me, it's for Baba. So I don't have to worry about it. And this thought allowed me to let go. And I suddenly felt, oh yes, now I can let go. And I had the feeling, the experience of, now it's no longer my responsibility. And I was almost smiling in the bus, thinking, Baba, I really wonder how you're going to do it. And then I was at the airport, queuing up with my 12 kilo overweight. And just before it was my turn, the counter next to where I was queuing up opened, and the lady said, "You come to me, please, come." And so I thought, okay, let me step forward. So I was going to this counter, and I was putting my suitcase on the scale. And then the lady said, "Don't worry, the scale is broken anyway." And so problem was solved. And I really had to smile and thought, Baba, you are so clever. You know, no one can you can't have a plan how you do this. And so again, it was only possible because I have let go of it. I give you another example. I just give you 2-3 examples where I clearly felt this mechanism of me letting go and Baba stepping in. I know sometimes we get emails where we get confronted with something. Anyway, I got one of these emails, same accusation that I heard many times before. And I only had to read the email and I felt everything is getting tight inside. And I immediately wanted to write back. And I knew, no, if I'm going to write back now, it's not good. But what to do? And so I thought, okay, let it be for the moment. And I just sat in front of Baba's picture and I had the thought, now don't think. Don't think, don't think, don't think. And I would just look at Baba. And I hold myself back to go into this old type of thinking of accusing the other one. And I thought, don't think, don't think. And then I felt like Baba putting something away from me, and like everything that is holding me tight would leave me. And I felt this problem has been solved now and it's gone forever. And sure enough, it was really like that. So this, I knew I don't have to talk with this person about that. It's solved. I felt it. And so even though I never talked about this with this person, it was completely clarified. And actually the person would completely turn, and for what I was accused before, this person now would support me in that. So how was this possible? Only because I have let go. And it was a kind of courage, to overcome, to going into the same old pattern of thinking, of accusing, of giving reasons. And so this, when we do this, I think this opens doors for Baba to come in and actually to support us in the way that we need. We need Baba's support. I give you another example. I had the chance to lead a retreat in Italy. That's now 1 year back. And so, as I didn't have much experience in guiding retreats, I thought, okay, let me prepare well beforehand. So I tried to prepare. Nothing worked as yet, and I thought, doesn't matter, I still have enough time. So I gave it another try, nothing worked. I gave it another try, and then I had only 1 week left. Only 5 days left, only 4 days left, and then I really started getting nervous. I thought, 50 people are waiting for me. This retreat is going to start in 4 days, and I have not prepared yet. And so I lost another day and 1 more day. And believe it or not, it was the evening before the retreat, and I didn't have the program ready. And then I thought, but what I'm going to do. Should I tell the responsible of this country that I'm sorry, I have nothing to present? It's not possible. She invited 50 people. And so I would then call a friend, DK friend, or actually two, and they said, don't prepare too much. Just kind of set some anchors, what you want to prepare, and give enough space for Baba to come in. Give enough space for Baba to come in. And then I realized that I wanted to plan in such a detailed manner that Baba could not come in. And so I thought, okay, tomorrow the retreat is going to start. And deep inside, I would feel it's going to be all right. But I had to be very concentrated. If I would have let run my thoughts in a direction, I could have run into a nervous breakdown. But then, next day, Amrit Vela, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I had my Murli. 6 o'clock, I started preparing. 10 o'clock, everything was ready. So within 4 hours, Baba could prepare 2.5 days retreat, but only because I had the courage to let go and actually let Baba in, let Baba do his work. And so I think this is for all of us in many eras of life, be it how to deal with our family, how to deal with our friends, how to do at work in certain situations. When we create for Baba the space, then he will step in. And he will actually never let you down. That's really the experience. There might be tests, but Baba would never let you down. And I find that when this feeling grows inside, that Baba doesn't let you down, this is in such a world we are living now in, where everything is so uncertain. So this, just the feeling inside that it will be all right, that is extremely precious. That is extremely precious. Because sometimes I see that people without Baba's knowledge, they are lacking this deep feeling inside, it will be all right. And so there's a great uncertainty. And so we don't need to know what exactly is going to happen. We don't need to know how is it going to happen. That's the interesting part of the journey, that's also what makes life adventurous, Brahmin life, that it's good, we don't need to know everything. That makes it interesting. But inside the feeling, everything will be all right. That's very important. So, I would like to take you in a meditation. But first, I would like to ask you, think of something you would like to transform in yourself. Is there something you can think of that you would like to transform in yourself? If not, then you are very, very lucky Brahmin. Nothing to transform. Yeah, all of us, we have something, a few things we transform overnight. Probably you would have noticed a few things we transform literally overnight. And a few things take a bit more time. So just think of something. And now, if I may ask you, write this down. Write it down, but you don't write down what you do not want, because that's where often our focus goes, what we do not want. And it's very important to change that around to what you actually want. What do you want? Let's say if you're thinking of a difficult situation, then think, how do I want to be in this situation? This could then be your aim, right? How do I want to be in this situation? So write this down. Or if you, let's say if you feel very challenged by doing Amrit Vela. So how would you like to get up for Amrit Vela? How would you like your Amrit Vela to be? If you think of a challenging relationship, how would you like to be in this relationship? And then write this down. So, and as a second step, you can think of, can you choose a formulation? Is that English? A formulation that is very powerful. And you use powerful words. For example, when you think of a situation, very normally you get frightened, or you feel belittled, or you feel small. You think, I am the most powerful soul in this situation. Or I am in the utmost self-respect. Or no matter what is going to happen, I will maintain my peace. Okay, you found a formulation for you? Yes? Okay, good. So I say this because I find this something very important in Brahmin life. And I think Baba talks about this also. Like, whenever we want something different, we need to create the reality here in first. We need to see it here. For example, when there is a difficult relationship, can you see yourself and the other person both smiling? both smiling. So this reality we have to first create in here. That's a spiritual creation. And then it will manifest outside. So, but you have now your personal aim. And so let's work with that in a very short meditation. So you have written down your personal aim of transformation, something you would like to change. And now again, relax. Sit upright. Relax your shoulders. Feel how you immediately become peaceful inside. Take a deep breath. And when you breathe out, let go of all doubts, all tension, all self-doubts. Become free inside. Realize that you are one of those very, very old souls. Who have been going through the whole cycle. And so your capacity is huge. And Baba can see this capacity. Much better than any of us can see it. And there's something very beautiful about life. And that is that everything keeps changing. Everything and everyone constantly keeps changing. That's the law of life in the physical dimension. Nothing remains the same. And so, now project yourself in the future. Some time has passed. And somehow, you have reached your aim for transformation. You have reached there. Transformation has happened. You reached your goal. Now see your face. How does your face look like? Now that you've reached your aim, see the contentment, see the smile, see the power in this face. And how do you feel now that you achieved your aim? How do you feel? Now increase this feeling more and more. Like you turn up the volume of some music. You turn up the volume of these very positive feelings. Let them grow inside, these feelings. And now, having achieved your aim, see yourself walking through life. See how you radiate this light. This contentment. And see how Baba is so happy with you. Feel his presence at your side. And now for one more minute, see yourself walking through life very royally. Independent and free. Baba at your side. Radiating light into all relationships. All situations. And then hold on to this feeling as you bring your awareness back to the room where you find yourself in. So I think that's something we can use very often for us. Whatever you want to change, whatever you want to achieve, don't think about how you get there. Baba said that clearly in a blessing lately. Don't think about how and what, but just become an embodiment of experience of having achieved this aim. It's a very, very easy and powerful method, actually. And that's really spirituality. You create the reality inside here. And then more and more it's being manifested outside. Especially with relationships, we really can heal relationships when you see yourself smiling and you see the other one smiling. And then you bring Baba in between. All around is smiling. We did this exercise and then afterwards someone wrote a message and she said, I can't imagine, I can't visualize me smiling in this relationship. But then she kept trying for a few days, and after 3 days she wrote again, now I managed. And see, this is exactly this inner blockage that we have to break through to overcome. You have to be willing to see yourself smiling in this situation. You know, before you were locked in the mindset of, no, the other one has hurt me. But then you overcome and you understand, no, all our souls, we all are on our journey. Baba is with us. Any kind of fighting doesn't lead anywhere. Baba takes us away from battling. Before we thought we have to fight for everything. We have to make effort for everything. That's definitely true. But not fight. Not fight. I really feel that we can pull Baba's help. We can pull Baba's help. One way I've found that works to pull Baba's help or Baba's presence or Baba's love, I would say, is when I create good wishes for others. Baba likes that very much. No, I think probably every one of us would have one, maybe two challenging relationships in our lives. It's not 10 or 12 or not even 7. Often it's 1 or 2, maybe 3. I would say it's 1 or 2 for most of us. Challenging relationships. And when we make the effort, and this again, I understand this also as it being courage. If we overcome this inner barrier of blaming or accusing, even though, maybe this person really has hurt me, maybe he or she has done wrong, that might be true. Maybe it's 100% true, maybe it's only 80% true, maybe it's 60% true. It doesn't really matter. But if I overcome this and start creating good feelings, or at least creating the vision inside, this person is smiling, I myself, I think this pulls Baba's help. Another way of pulling Baba's help I found is doing Baba's service. For me, for my whole Brahmin life, this has always been an anchor. Just do something for Baba. Anything. I honestly feel many don't really get the importance of that. And that's such an easy way to attract Baba's help. We help him, he helps us. He cannot settle our accounts, that's for sure. But he can support us in whatever we do for him. Or anything that, once I heard someone sharing that she had a special thought, like an aim, a special thought. Now, as we say, I have a thought, I have an idea, inspiration, or an aim. And then to pull Baba's help, she cooked 21 times pork for Baba. And so I just somehow this stuck so much in my mind. I thought, oh, I'm really struggling with something. Let me try that. And I tried it out and it really helped me. What I want to say, anything we do kind of special, it can be a book, or let me do special tapasya for something. When we do something special we get in return. So, simple equation. Special investment, special return. But doing something for Baba, sometimes I think today, when I think it was today, Baba said something that really can shake us a bit when we hear that in the Murli. Baba says, for some it's like they have taken a vow not to follow Srimad. Very strong. Oh, wow. What do you mean with that, Baba? And as I understand it, it's not that we speak that out. Okay, Baba, I take the vow, I don't follow Srimad. But it's something we don't realize that it is actually happening. For example, someone is new in Gyan, likes everything, but finds it difficult, the idea of getting up for Amrit Vela. Getting up properly, 3:45, sitting at 4:00. So let's say you start your Brahmin journey like this. And then, okay, so nobody's perfect, that's fully okay. But then it's 1 month, it's 3 months, it's a half year. And then it becomes so firm. The mind becomes so set. This is my Brahmin life. Amrit Vela is not for me. And you don't even think about it. It's like you have taken the decision, I can't do it. But it's granted. Every Brahmin soul has the capacity to do it. Baba will help it. Baba will help in this. And so when Baba says we take a vow not to follow Srimad, it's the things we don't realize anymore. Oh, Baba is actually telling me this. I give you another example. I just these are examples I see. For example, someone has little financial means, has very little money. And so there's the decision, I have little money, I can't give to Baba, I can't give anything for service. But then Baba says so much in the Murli, give only a little bit so that I can give you the return. Baba wants to give the return, but because there is the law of karma, he can only give the return if you give. And then I see examples around me in the center. They have very little, but still they manage to give a little. And they get the return for that, for sure. And then others, they have maybe same or maybe more, but they take the decision, I can't. And so Baba can't give the return. So these are, I just want to mention very practical examples. These are very simple ways, actually, because I feel that there is sometimes Srimad very subtle, not easy to follow. But there is a gross Srimad that is very easy to put into practice. And so let me do that so that I open up to follow also the more subtle aspects of Srimad. So giving a little bit in Baba's box, that's easy. That's gross. And if I do that, it opens up for more subtle. So I think, Harsha, my time is up. Is that right?
We can have 5 minutes of meditation. And if you have anyone have any questions or comments, feel free to unmute yourself and just unmute it. Just in case if there is any Zoom bombing, I will mute. So, yeah. Seema, you have a question?
Yeah, I don't have a question. I wanted to thank Brother Morris. I met him in Switzerland. Just like he said in his lecture that Baba wanted me, and he picked up the phone. Brother Morris, I had a Diwali time. I was in Switzerland, never been to Switzerland, and got up in the morning for Amrit Vela. And Baba said, "You find the Diwali program," because I wanted to come to Diwali, and I was in Switzerland. I didn't know anybody. And Brother Morris welcomed me with open arms, and I had the best time in Switzerland at the BK Center. So I wanted to thank you so much. It's such a coincidence. I just came back last week, and today I get to see you on Zoom. This is how Baba does his magic, actually. So thank you, Brother Morris. I had a wonderful, wonderful time. A great experience in a foreign country, in Switzerland, with Brother Morris is a great cook. The meal was so delicious, with so much love. The vibrations Baba was in there. I can go on. And also the BK members were so loving, and I shared it with all my with the Anubhuti Center, few BKs I know, and with my Seal Beach Center. They all were so happy. So thank you.
Wonderful.
Again. That's all.
Thank you, Seema. I saw your face and then I thought, I know her. For now, of course, now I remember, of course, Diwali, yes. Good.
And Brother Morris, he says Switzerland also gets spam calls. And that morning, Brother Morris, he said, I almost didn't pick up the phone. If he had not picked up the phone, I couldn't have gone to the BK Center. So just want to share that. Baba knew what he was doing. Thank you.
Yes. Good. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions, comments? Sangamitra Ben, Olga, Asmi Ben.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Benji.
It's very insightful and powerful. The thing that comes to mind is, as I have there are things where I find it's easy for me to seek Baba's help or give it to Baba, and I see the direction. But then there are certain things that I find it really, really hard. And I'm struggling to think of an example where I'm finding it hard to either completely hand it over or unable to change. And I'm struggling to think of a very specific example where it is, but I don't know if there is how you recognize where you are struggling the most and how do you completely hand it over in that case. Not sure if I'm making sense, but that
Yeah.
was the one.
Yeah, I can relate to this because no, I think it has been such a firm habit for so long just to do everything on our own. I think that's part of our journey, that we were looking for God, we trusted God, but because we were also kind of lost in our journey, we ended up thinking, okay, I better do it on myself, on my own. And so I think we have to literally learn to let go, to learn to hand over. Sometimes I think, okay, Baba, now I really want to hand this over to you. And let's say it's evening, I want to go to bed. I try to hand it over to Baba, but it doesn't work. No, I feel I can't. Something is holding back. So, and I think what's important, it's not something to feel bad about, but only to realize, okay, that's also something to learn. It's also something to practice, to let go. And sometimes we manage, and I think we just keep doing it. And if you one evening you try to let go and you don't manage, okay, next evening you try again, and suddenly you will feel, now it happened. Now I could let go. Now I really feel it's no longer my responsibility. And then Baba can come in. So I think this letting go, it's just it's a part of our journey.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's thought patterns, the same thoughts. Now I tease you a little bit. What do you think? What this has to do with our spiritual practice? This little ghost. So he has actually two faces, I use that for a practice, but now the time is up to explain that. But I will send Arshan Bhai a link where I explain about this. And I found it really a very helpful practice. Well, in short, I can tell. Now, sometimes we understand, for example, before you have taken an aim for yourself. And now our task is to keep this aim alive. But then the old awareness wants to come back. And how does it come back? In thoughts. And so when you think, no, I should not have this thought, I push it away, but still it's somehow inside. And then the thought comes back, no, I should not think that. And you push it down, but still you hold the thought inside. And actually, when you have a little puppet, or you can even draw, you can draw a figure and say, okay, this is Maya, the old awareness. And whenever you have the thought that wants to pull you back in your old awareness, you shoot this thought out and say, no, this is yours. this is your thought. Because Baba, he always separates I, the soul, and Maya, right? Baba always separates. So when the old thought comes back, you just shoot it out and say, this is your thought. That's not mine. When you do that, you will feel immediately, oh, the thought is gone. And it's not a feeling like I'm suppressing the thought, but you just give it away. And I find that that can really help a lot. No, it's not something that you want to do with everything, but sometimes you have like a strong aim, and you formulate this aim, and you don't want to fall back to the old. And then whenever a thought comes that pulls you back to the old, you remember, no, that's not my thought, and you shoot it out, and you become empty of the old nature inside. So
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much. Very helpful.
you can try that out if you want.
It's really beautiful analogy. Thank you. So maybe Brother Matthias, if you can guide us through a meditation, and then we can start with the next.
So afterwards, I can also put this link into the chat box
Yes.
if I get 2 minutes to get it.
Yes.
Okay. So let's become peaceful and soft inside. Bring your attention to the forehead. And there is this amazing, powerful, eternal soul sparkling. The soul full of self-respect. The soul is full of inner resilience. The soul has the capacity to remain peaceful in any situation. And I deeply embrace the thought, whatever happens, I will not let go of my peace. Whatever happens, I will not let go of my peace. And as I think this, I feel Baba's smiling light coming through, right down to me. I feel Baba's eyes on me. I feel Baba's good wishes for me. And I feel Baba's love for me. This makes me feel so good and so secure. And this security makes me absolutely stable. Because I feel protected. And I see myself walking through life in this total stability. I see my smiling face. I see the light I'm radiating. Bringing light into others' lives. And I accept deep from my heart that I'm a very special soul in this eternal drama. I am a very special soul in this eternal drama. Om Shanti.